Yeah, well, I was on a 2-fight winning streak, and then I got this Abu Dhabi fight where I was gonna fight Atman Azatar, and then he smuggled in that bag. He got cut, and then I had a new opponent. Like I remember going to weigh-ins and not knowing if like who I was fighting, and like while I was at the weigh-ins, I got the fight with Armin, so they put that together, and then I lost that fight, and then I got booked for Frank Camacho in June, and then the week before the fight, Frank Camacho gets into a car accident, and then they had the late replacement Terrence, and
Okay.
then and that was the rough one. That was the knockout loss.
7 seconds.
Yeah.
Man, so what is that like with hindsight now? Like I know you want to talk about it a little more. Like what what did that emotionally do to you?
That was
That
a, that was a rough one, because just losses are always tough, but being able to go out there and like kind of and fight and put on display like all my skills and all my weapons, even in a losing effort, as long as I could go out there and fight hard, and be happy with my performance, I'm happy. But that Terrence fight, I didn't even get to fight. We walked out there. He threw a 1-2 right down the pipe, perfect timing, and caught me clean. You could argue an early stoppage, but he got me.
when you were on the ground and he's on top of you and the ref pulls him off, did you feel like you could have kept fighting?
Yeah, yeah,
Really?
definitely. I mean, look at his last fight. Terrence is a awesome fighter. He comes out so fast, so strong. Um, but his last fight with Drew Dober, he hurt Drew like early in that fight, and I was just as hurt as Drew was, but they didn't fight. They didn't stop that fight, and then Drew came back and won the fight. Unfortunately for me, I was hurt, and they stopped the fight. But you can't be mad about that, because we live to fight another day, and that fight, taught me a lot. It definitely taught me that you can't, no matter what happens, in life will throw curveballs at you. You'll get knocked down. Even if you were 100% prepared, you'll lose. It could happen. It happens to everybody, but you can't let that define you. In the end of the day, losses happen, setbacks happen, but you can't let that define you. I knew that this is what I do, that I'm good at this, and that I love this, and I lived to fight another day. I got right back to training. I got right back to having fun with everything. Like I said in the beginning of this interview, we're living the dream. I get to do what I love every day and compete at the highest level doing it. So, you know, we lost, or I lost, and I didn't let that define me. I was able to come back and put on a great performance and get a big win, and that's what I will continue to do throughout my career. So
Yeah. So did like that Terrence McKinney loss was your second loss in a row, and a lot of guys when they get that third loss, that's usually when they get cut. Was there was there like any fear that was there that kind of pressure? Were you thinking about that kind of thing?
I knew that if I lost that fight, I was gonna get cut from the UFC. I knew that. So, but you can't really let that like affect you in the end, like, which I didn't. I knew that if you lose 3 fights in a row in the UFC, you get cut. But I stayed present. I enjoyed living the dream, training every day, preparing for a fight, and I did everything like a professional. I was 100% prepared, and we went out there and we got the job done. And it's a great feeling when it all like works out. But what else would I rather be doing?
Yeah. So did like was there any emotional turmoil
uh, Preparing for the fight, just kind of
like in
knowing.
that between the Terrence fight and the what's his name
Valdez.
Valdez fight? Was there any like negative repetitive thoughts or like self-doubt creeping in at all? Like, was that a part of it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I remember after the Terrence fight, like I was definitely like in a pretty low spot mentally, but we climbed out of it, you know. And I even went to work with my dad, and my brother, and I went back to the construction site and like was going back to work. And but then I kind of thought about it and I was like, I definitely got one more fight in the UFC left. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna do it the only way I know how to do it. You know, hard work and discipline, and put a nice fight camp in, and I did it. And then we got the win, and now we're about to secure another UFC contract, another 4-fight deal, and keep the dream alive. So yeah. Well, I was thinking about this next fight. Like when I get past 7 seconds, I'm gonna be like, but no, in that last fight, I got out there and I just trusted my training, trusted my instincts, and through my over 10 years of training, I've instilled good instincts, and I trusted that, and I was in there fighting. I was fighting for the finish, and then I heard him early, and as soon as I heard him, I smelled blood and went for the finish, and he wasn't giving me the finish easily,
No, that was
but
crazy.
but eventually we got it.
I was a little worried, like, damn, I hope this guy goes down because it's gonna be a weird fight if he doesn't. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I was prepared. That was one thing. I'm always prepared for 15 minutes of full throttle. So uh, if not, he I got I made sure to finish it though.
yeah. No, they probably should have stopped that fight a little sooner.
Yeah, definitely they
That guy
could have.
took a few years worth of damage, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. It's probably stuttering after that one.
Yeah, I actually saw him after the fight too. I saw him at the hotel bar and shook his hand and kind of talked to him a little bit. He didn't speak much English, but I was kind of trying to tell him that I've been where he's been. I made my UFC debut undefeated, and I got beat. I got knocked out in the first round. So I've been where he's been, and then after my UFC debut losing, I came back and I had 3 of the best fights of my career. I had a draw with Lando and then 2 big wins over Pena and Turner. So after every loss, after every setback, you, like I said in the beginning, you can't let it define you. You just have to put it as experience and get better from it, learn from it, and know that you live to fight another day. And just remind yourself that you live in the dream. What else would you rather be doing besides doing what you love and being able to train all day and improve and enjoy the ride.